Hey everyone, welcome back to my Halloween edition. Well, not really a Halloween edition review since it's November 1st. Uh, and I didn't mean to say Halloween edition review. I meant to say uh, a childhood favorite review. This is a game I absolutely loved growing up, and I never owned a copy of it, but I'd always go to my cousin's house and play it. So here we are with Oddworld, Abe's Oddysee, one of my all-time favorite games. If you want to talk about a classic comedic game, this is definitely it. What's it about? It's about this wonderful, nice, Madocan by the name of Abe. He's a slave, to the Gluckins, or Gluckins if you want to call them that. And the Gluckins are pretty damn funny. They've got walnut heads, no arms, and their feet go like really fast when they walk. And do not expect this to be a behind the back view. It is side scrolling. Uh, Many people who are used to stuff like uh, Castlevania, mm, let me think of some other ones. I don't want to say Mario, even though that springs to mind every time. There is some platforming like Mario in this, but you cannot crush your enemies. You have no weapons, and you're pretty much screwed at first. But once you figure out the controls, it's pretty easy. Um, I got this copy for $7 down at the comic book store, which Amazon wanted the same price, but I really didn't want to pay $3 for shipping and handling, so I got uh, it down at the comic book store for my birthday. Uh, I think I got it either last year or the year before, but I'm pretty sure it was last year. Um, what do I think of the Madokans? I think they're cute. I think they're absolutely adorable. Like, I've got a big smile underneath this mask. Uh, I just absolutely thought they were cute, funny, and just plain adorable. And the way they talk is just absolutely adorable as well. Abe's got this kind of high pitched but low pitched voice, depending on what game you play. But he sounds kind of like, "Get me out of here!" And he's got stitches on his lips, like sewing on his lips. Why, I have no clue. The other Madokans don't have that. And hopefully you all can see that. Uh, if I can get the stupid glare off it. That is Abe. That is what he looks like. And what's cool about the Oddworld games, it has a little thing called GameSpeak. Pretty much what GameSpeak is, you get to interact with the characters by speaking to them, and you get stuff like work, follow me, hello. But the problem with this one, being that it's the first one, is you do not have an Aloya uh, game speak yet. But you get it in Abe's Exodus, which I'll talk about later. Um, game speak to me was pretty much revolutionary because I never played games that let you talk to people without it being cutscenes. And I was just like, whoa, characters actually talking to each other. And I'm the one controlling it. Cool. And there's also a button where you can fart. Now, many people remember this for its fart humor. Uh, I I have nothing against fart humor, like, sometimes it can be chuckle worthy, but ultimately, uh, it's just childlike humor. And I'll be talking about another game similar to this, and I might as well show some of the instruction booklet if I can get it out. Okay, let me find a good page of the Madokins. Oh, here's some of the worlds. That is Paramonia Temple and Paramonia. Okay, we've got Scrabania and Scrabanian Temple. The Mosaic Mines. These are just some of the areas you'll see. You get a hell of a lot of areas in this game. And it's a pretty lengthy game, so it's enough to keep you busy. If you save enough Madokins in this game, you get a little something called the Shrikle. Trying to see if you see that. The Shrikle. It's like a powerful beast that destroys anything in its path. And when you get it, you feel empowered. And I loved it. I loved everything about this game. The humor, the overall challenge of it, but some parts I felt get a little too challenging. And one of my favorite things that I wish they carried over to Abe's Exodus, Elam. Elam is like an alien camel pretty much, and goes like and what's funny is you can feed him to get him to follow you, and he won't attack, but he jumps really far, so pretty much you use him for jumping long distances. And when he jumps, he goes like, and when he falls, it's so sad because he goes, and I miss games like this. Just even though the story is really simple, you're a slave in a meat processing plant called Rupture Farms. And it's a simple plot. Just go in there and save all your buddies. Nowadays, we got stuff like... trying to find one with a really lengthy story. Assassin's Creed. I have nothing against the Assassin's Creed. I actually like the games. But, man, those stories are lengthy. And the gameplay is fun. But it feels like some parts focus more on the story than they do the gameplay. But the gameplay is good, don't get me wrong. Hell, sneaking up behind a person and executing them by pulling them off the building. Hell yeah. But this game is all for the fun of it. It's meant to challenge you. And the only thing I don't like about this, the save. It will save you at a certain checkpoint, but if you're not at a checkpoint, it will save to where you'll have to start that whole area over again, and I'm like, fuck. Why? And in this one, you can only possess the slugs, which have like tentacles coming out of their pretty much mouth. That's pretty much their mouth right there. And they go, get him. Hi. Follow me. Get him. And I'm just like, that is the oddest but coolest thing I have ever seen. within my childhood. And I have not met one person who hates Oddworld. Like, whenever I ask people my age uh, about Oddworld, they're like, either they've never played it or they absolutely love it. I've ran into more people, sadly, who have never played it. And these days, we're finally getting a Oddworld HD remake, and it's called New and Tasty. It's supposed to be a remake of Abe's Oddysee, but have all the features of uh, the the later games. Like you've got quick save, you've got 3D moving areas. Well, you get that in the first two games, but nothing like this. Everything's in HD. The way the camera moves is really cool, and I can't wait to play it. Like, if it's sold in stores, I'm gonna pick it up. But if it's sold digitally, I'll think about it, because usually when stuff is new digitally, it's the same price as a brand new physical copy of the game, which goes up to $60. But I hope they do the smart thing and make it like 35 bucks, maybe 20, because not a whole lot of people will experience Oddworld if you have it at a high price. People will just look at it and be like, man, I'm staying away from that game. And I'll ask them, even if they're a random person, I'll be like, you turned down a chance to play an Oddworld remake of a classic Oddworld game? And then they'll probably say, but it just doesn't look interesting. How can this not sound and look interesting? Like, you're a slave, and you become a hero by saving a bunch of Madokans. And what's cool about these games, you get multiple endings. Like, if you save all the Madokans in the game, which I think comes out to be over 100, in this one at least, you get a good ending. But if you miss just one or two, you get the bad ending. And sadly, I got the bad ending. But it was a fun game. I can see myself playing it over and over again. It's strange that people my age don't know what Oddworld is. And the people that do, like I said, absolutely love it. And Oddworld to me is a classic. It definitely deserved the greatest hits treatment that it got. But the only thing I don't like about the greatest hits for PlayStation 1 is the green, pretty much the green format they used. I'm like, ew. I like the red letters though, but make it like dark blue, maybe gray, because how the format right here is black, so might as well go for gray. Maybe white, but I can't think of a PlayStation being white. Sorry if I sound racist there, but I don't mean to. Um, do I say pick up this game? If you've got a PlayStation or a PlayStation 3, go for it. It's definitely worth your time, and it's definitely worth the $7 I paid for it. Um, what do I rate it? Because I am doing this as a review. I thought the controls were well done. I thought the game speak was really top notch. The possession is really fun. Like, if you possess a slig, then you get a weapon. You can shoot down your Madokan buddies, which I highly suggest you don't do. Or you can shoot all the sligs. and make the pathway easier for you. Oh, and before I forget, there's these things called slogs. They're they're pretty much skinless dogs with giant mouths that go on on, and I'm just like, ooh. Now I know why they call it Oddworld. Like I said that when I was about 7. Let me see when this game came out. It came out when I was 4. I didn't play it until 3 years later. Mm. And I love the game. I definitely consider it one of my favorites. And what do I give it? Because some parts were a little too challenging, I give it a 9 out of 10. But that doesn't mean this is uh, just a fun game that you can get through and then just stop playing. This actually has replay value. And like I said, I can see myself playing this for a really long time because I have waited a really long time to own my physical copy of Oddworld Abe's Oddysee. And I enjoy every minute of it. So that's my review over Oddworld Abe's Oddysee. And check out New and Tasty. You can find info about it on the Oddworld Facebook page, or you can go to oddworld.com. Anyways, this is Psychopathic One, signing off.